So I had a friend of mine call me last night, and she said, "Eric, been looking at your Facebook page. What are you doing? Looks like you're building a boat out of cardboard." Which is kind of what I'm doing at the moment. I'm building a boat, and we're using lots of stuff, but among them, for the sheeting, we've been using a product that's commonly referred to as chipboard. And it very, very much resembles the matting in a picture frame. Like if you ever had a photograph or a artist's work, hey, come back, uh, framed. This is kind of what they use. Hey, can I have that back, please? Thank you. Um, so anyway, as we talked about the boat and what we're doing, I realized that I really haven't explained what we're doing much. I'm just posting a bunch of pictures. So there really is no plans for this boat, but we've been getting a lot of calls for salvage work and rescue work, and this sunk or we lost that, it's underwater, we can't get to it. Would you dive for it, please? And of course we will. That's what we do, and we love being in the water. But the more we do it, we realize that we need tools to be able to do this better. So some divers, friends, of course, my daughter and other people involved, we just kind of sat down and hashed this out. It's like, okay, what do we really need? And what would be the best way to do this? And I'm not going to tell you that we know the best way to do this, but this was an idea that we came up with. So a lot of cranes are built on barges, and we didn't want to do that because we want a crane boat that is small, very small footprint. We can put this on a trailer and move it into a relatively small body of water. Because honestly, there's a lot of cranes out on the big river and things like that can get in and do hoist work on big water, but the little water is just kind of, well, fact is cranes are expensive, and we don't need them every day, but when we do need them, we really need them. So hopefully this boat is maneuverable enough that it'll be able to get in and out of those smaller bodies of water easily. So we wanted a lot of pulling power, as much pulling power as we possibly could. So this boat has a fixed I-beam up here on top. And that's essentially what you're looking at, is everything it takes to make an I-beam float over the water. And these are gantry cranes. There's 2 of them. And these will move back and forth on this I-beam. And the person sitting in the wheelhouse over here will be able to locate the load where they see fit. And the idea is that we can put these in this area and actually pull a great deal of weight, something about 7 tons, between the pontoons. So you'll be able to sit in this wheelhouse, look out through your front windshield, and right in between the 2 pontoons, and be able to see, at least on top of the water, of what you're doing in, very, very close proximity. And because you're pulling in between the pontoons, you can pull the boat squarely down in the water to make your lift, instead of pulling them out here on the end where the boat is going to tip up on its bow. And that's what causes most of the barge cranes to sink, is somebody gets a hold of too much weight and you can only pull over the bow on a barge crane. So hopefully, again, because this is just a wild bit, that we can pull the heavy loads in between the pontoons, and when the load is off of the bottom of the lake or the river or the body of water, whatever that is, once it gets in the water column, we'll be able to move the load out over the bow and possibly, you know, bring a boat up over the bow to the point where we can pump the water out of it. And of course, we'll have onboard pumps and air compressors and things here as well. So anyway, this is a digital sketch of our idea, and this is probably as close as we'll ever get to a set of plans because it's super not complicated. But this is to scale, so you can get a good idea of what it looks like from the side. So what we're doing now is we're building the plug of this pontoon so that we can build the mold. And once we build the mold, we can build as many pontoons as we want. So in order to do that, we needed a pretty good drawing of the pontoon. So here is, and this is all in metric, I apologize, it just worked out that way. And I'll clean this up so you can kind of see it a little better maybe. So we don't need these dimensions on here anymore. And we'll just delete those. So you can see this is really simple. I-beam at the top, framework to hold it, and this boat will have 4 pontoons on it. When it's on the trailer, so that we can get down the road without being a wide load or having to get special access, the second pontoon will flip up on top of the first, and there'll be a hinge system in here. And then when we get it unloaded into the water, we can fold that pontoon down like over here on our left side. And so this will be the view that you have from the pilot house, and you'll be looking right between these pontoons, right down the center, be able to see where your load is. So, so anyway, that's the idea. So I'll take you out and show you the plug the way it sits now.